Hi, my name is Lena. Welcome to my channel, and let's talk about my March TBR. Let's start with March of the Mammoth event on BookTube. I think it was started by Jason from the channel All Blues Chapter and Verse, and Lukash from the channel Totally Pretentious. I will leave all the links into info box. And for the March of the Mammoth, I'm going to read Furioso by Ludovico Ariosto, and I have already started. I have to say it's translated into Russian from the Italian, and the translation is not particularly good, but it's still highly enjoyable. So I can only imagine how enjoyable it is in original or in a very good translation. For some reason, the translator chose to translate it into prose, but to represent it as a verse and call it free verse. It's not even a proper Russian. That's what I say. That's what I would tell about this. But it's still enjoyable, so you can imagine how enjoyable it is in a good translation. Then, if I will finish it for the March of the Mammoth, I will read War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, the second volume. It has been on my currently reading page for ages, so I will read the second volume. I still remember the first volume very well, sorry. And if I finish it, sorry guys, I will start Le Mort d'Arthur by Thomas Malory. Right now I am currently reading 16 books, so we don't need to make the situation worse. So then to deal somehow with the 16 books I'm reading, I'm finishing the Martian Chronicles by Bradbury, and I'm enjoying it. Sorry guys. But somehow I'm not picking it up. So right now I using the trick that Sean the Book Maniac used. I read a short story from this collection before I read anything else for the day. I don't remember who gave him this tip, but this tip I picked up from him. And I am body reading God the Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert with Todd the Librarian. So this book is priority one. And then I am participating in Steve's Sunday read along, and I'm reading the Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So Pride and Prejudice and God the Emperor of Dune, they are my priority number one books. So, and then let's talk about March Mystery Madness. I'd like to read The Summer of the Danes by Ellis Peters. I reread it. I'd like to reread it. I read it many years ago and I liked it. So, talking about our saga-long that we have just finished, it has Danes, Vikings. It has two brothers that are at odds in Wales, and it has a romantic story, and it has a dead body. So I remember it was enjoyable. Of course, Ellis Peters is not about investigating. Her books is not about investigating murders. It's more like a depiction of the time. It gives you a feel of the medieval England, medieval Wales, sorry guys, and the feel of the people. So it's a glimpse at this time. And I enjoy it very much. I enjoy her books very much. Then one of the books by Maurizio de Giovanni, I Will Have Vengeance. This is the series Steve Donahue talked many times about. It's about the detective who can see ghosts, and those ghosts usually repeat the last phrase they have ever said. So it's a bit creepy. At the same time, it's very interesting. It's translated from the Italian, so I will try to find out whether it was translated to Russian, because I won't be able to get other books. So if I like the series. And then I have plenty of ebooks. It doesn't mean that I will read them all. It's just what I have, the opportunities I have. And on my Kindle, which is Misbehaviour right now, sorry, I have 2 books by Phoebe Atwood Taylor. I think it was Steve who recommended it. The Cape Cod Mystery, #1. So it's the first one in the series. I bought them because they were cheap, and because Steve recommended them. And the other one, Diplomatic Corps. I don't know anything about them, sorry. Steve knows his mysteries, I trust him. Then the third book in the Pliny the Younger notebooks series, the Corpus Conundrum by Albert A. Bell. Actually, I have already finished it. It was a quick and enjoyable read. And it's the third book in the series, but you absolutely don't have to read them in the order. He never spoils the previous book, and he tells you everything you need to know. I actually enjoyed the second and the third book even more than I enjoyed the first one. The only thing that takes me out of the story is the use of the term gentleman. It's so English to me. It's so contemporary to me. It's more like Victorian England to me. Sorry. So it takes me out of the story. I would rather he used a Roman term, or even slaves call their master a gentleman, old gentleman, when they should have called them old master. I don't know, it takes me out of the story. The jokes, of course, they are a bit too modern, but the book is enjoyable. Of course, it's not about investigating. It's more like the feel of the time. If you want to hang out with Pliny the Younger and Cornelius Tacitus, the historian, with those 2 friends in the Imperial Rome, if you want to hang out with them, and it's a very enjoyable story. This time, Pliny finds a body which he calls lifeless but not dead. It's a very strange condition when a person is not breathing but the body is not stiffening, and he doesn't know what to make out of it, and then the body disappeared. In this story, this time, the story have a bit of a supernatural taste to it, and it's kind of enjoyable. So the events pile up in such a way, the coincidence pile up in such a way that he, being a rational being, and he doesn't believe in, Pliny doesn't believe in God, and he doesn't believe in soul. He thinks that we should enjoy our life right now, because we won't get any second chance, that we don't have soul. And for him, the enjoyment of the life is reading and writing. For his friends, it's drinking wine and partying and making love to whoever he's attracted at the moment, men or women. So he doesn't believe in soul. He doesn't believe in God, but the coincidence are so strange that he starts thinking that he will not find a rational explanation to any of it. So it was enjoyable, but it's not a proper investigation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Then I have Hamlet Revenge. Sorry, guys. By Michael Ince. It was a recommendation from Steve Donahue. It was ages ago, and I bought it ages ago, and I have wanted to read it. But it's a mystery, right? So it's kind of won't make me a better read person, but it will bring me much joy, I suppose. Then the first book in The Ladies Detective Agency by Alexandra McCall Smith. It was a recommendation from Rose from the channel A Journey Through Books. And I think I will enjoy it because it's not about investigation, it's more like about people and the feel of the place of Botswana. Then I suppose it was also a recommendation from Rose, and he doesn't want to open it. My Kindle doesn't want to open it, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. So I don't remember much about it. But I suppose it was funny. The Unexpected Inheritance of Inspector Chopra by Wasim Khan. I'm sorry. Okay, then the third book in SPQR series, The Sacrilege. In this series, we follow Gaius Metellus. He belongs to a very famous Roman family, and he lives during the Roman Republic time, during the last years of Roman Republic, and he investigates whatever. I don't know anything about the third book. I have enjoyed the first book immensely. The second book a bit let me down. It wasn't that enjoyable. It was kind of dragging. Half of it was very slow paced and dragging. The other half was kind of enjoyable. So I'm giving him another chance because I like hanging out with Gaius Metellus. I like his opinion on every historical person, every historical figure he meets, and he meets very interesting people like Cato, like Catull, like Cicero, like Mark Antony and Julius Caesar. I like him. I will give him another chance. Then, oh, I have forgotten to tell you about the author. The name of the author, John Maddox Roberts. Sorry. Then, the seventh. Oh, I don't remember. Is it the seventh book in Amalia Peabody Mysteries? It's by Elizabeth Peters, The Snake, the Crocodile, and the Dog, and it's set in Victorian era, but mostly in Egypt. Amalia Peabody, she is an English lady, but she is very passionate about excavations, about pyramids, about Egypt. She has very um, progressive views for her time period. She's not exactly a feminist, but you can call her that. She's an extremely interesting person, and I like dialogues between her and her husband. I have started it, I am 20% in, and I have to tell it, I miss the child. This time, their child, Ramses, they left him in England. It starts with Amalia and her sister-in-law, being very reminiscent of the time when they were brides, when they were not married to their husband. They miss this freshness in the relationship when nothing is a routine, so they miss their time. They have some sort of crisis. It starts with that. And then Amalia and her husband are going to Egypt alone without their son. And I miss the son because he brought a lot of humor to the book, although he was utterly unrealistic as a 10-year-old boy. But he was enjoyable, and I hope that he will pop up in this book, that he will somehow will go to Egypt in this story. Well, so far nothing really happened apart from an attempt of kidnapping of somebody I will not name. I hope it will pick up. I hope it will be much more enjoyable. Then what else I have? The book that I have threatened to start reading many times, Medicus by Ruth Downey. I think it takes place in Britain at the Roman era, when it was invaded by Romans. I don't know much about it, but I am very hopeful. So I couldn't find the next book by Don Leon on Kindle, Amazon Kindle, so I got it from other place. I might read though. I might read it. Sorry, guys. sorry. But I don't have a beautiful cover to show you, so it's Anonymous Venetian by Donna Leon, and it's the third book in Commissario Brunetti series. The event is set in Venice, and I love Venice, so I might read those. At first, I was very cross with Steve Donahue for postponing the Ides of March readathon, but now I understand that he actually, it was an act of kindness towards me, at least, from his part. But I still want to read something Roman. And I have Letters of Pliny the Younger. I might start those. And I have the poetry of Catu and Tibble and Proporti. I'm sorry, guys. I bet they are pronounced differently in English, but I'm sorry. I also have Julius Caesar, his notebooks from the period of Gaelic War. But I probably will start with poetry or with Letters of Pliny the Younger. Well, that's all. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye and happy reading.